Morning everybody, welcome to Paul Ricard for qualifying 2 of the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. This is round number 4 and some of us still getting over that first race yesterday, what was the best race this championship has ever seen. My name is Chris McCarthy. It's an absolute pleasure to have your company as always. As you can see, the conditions this morning are not as good as they have been throughout the weekend, but they are slowly warming up. Track temperature 25 degrees. So this is going to be a different challenge for the drivers. Practice 1 on Friday was in wet conditions, so that was a bit of a write-off really. Practice 2, we had temperatures of 30 degrees air temperature, track temperatures of over 40 degrees, and then we had pretty similar conditions for both qualifying yesterday and the race yesterday as well. So we've never really had temperatures this low all weekend. So some teams, and I spoke to a couple of drivers, Victor Bernier was one of them, saying they're going to gamble on a setup here because this is completely different conditions to what we are used to. And you might be thinking, well, surely it can't make that much of a difference. But speaking to Keith Donegan at RPM yesterday, he said tyre pressures makes a huge difference in this championship, particularly with these new softer Pirelli tyres. He says 2 PSI in the tyres either way can gain you around 4 5/10 of a second or up to 7/10 of a second. So this is going to be a real interesting session. We could see teams, drivers gambling on tyre pressures, gambling on setups, and we could see a mix in the results. One driver who was very disappointed with his qualifying performance yesterday was Mari Boyer there. He said he made a mistake. He said he's got some really good pace in that car, said he could have fought for pole position had he not made that mistake. 3rd place he was in his group in the end, but he was disappointed not to be higher than that. 3rd place overall there. You can see our podium finisher from yesterday, Dino Beganovic, the 2 Prema drivers. Dino finishing in 2nd yesterday. Sebastian Montoya to the left of picture, just missing out on a top 10 finish, on a rookie win and on points as well, but came very close. Had a really good battle actually with Tim Tramnitz on the last lap. It happened off camera because we were so busy watching the battles. That included this man towards the end as well, Hadrien David, the Frenchman, the Alpine junior, who had a good race, finishing in 6th yesterday, managed to gain a couple of positions towards the end of the race. Didn't have the best of qualifyings by his incredibly high standards though, finished in 4th place in group, which meant he started on the 4th row of the grid. Here is Hamda Al-Khabaisi in the 88. By far the smallest driver on the grid. Speaking to the Prema team, they've had to make a special seat for Hamda to get her in there. A lot of ballast in that car. And I spoke to her about, you know, these are really heavy cars. And I said to her, how do you cope with dealing with such a heavy car? And she seems to deal with it just fine. She says her arms are extended quite far out, so she's able to deal with it okay. And Hamda has been learning really quickly and has been doing a great job. Finished inside the top 30 yesterday. Coming over from Abu Dhabi, raced in Italian F4 last year, Hamda Al-Khabaisi, and getting up to speed in that Prema team quite quickly. This is going to be an interesting session. If you're new to the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine, welcome to it and thank you for joining us. This is qualifying, which will set the grid for race number 2 later. Now, how it works, we have 2 groups. The groups are denoted by championship position. The groups are separated or formed before the weekend starts. So this is the same groups that we had for qualifying 1 yesterday. Group A consists of the drivers, the odd numbers in the championship, i.e. 1st, 3rd, 5th, and so on. And Group B, who are making their way out onto the circuit now, consists of the drivers who are the even numbers in the championship, i.e. 2nd, 4th, 6th, and so on. So in Group B, we have Hadrien David in the 26, Kaz Havercourt in the 27, Gabriel Bortoleto in the 85, Murray Boyer in the 64, Lorenzo Fluxer in the 16, Joshua Dirksen in the 10, Laurens van Hopen, who we saw there in the 42, who had contact with Josh Dufek yesterday, who is out there in the 13. Noel Leon is in the 19. Josh Dufek had a personal best qualifying result yesterday, finishing 6th in group, meaning he started 12th on the grid. Roman Belinsky will be out there in the 4. Victor Bernier will be out there in the 12. Keith Donegan will be in the 65. Then we have Nicolas Baptiste in the 35. Axel Noss in the 7. Mateus Zagazetto, who got a personal best result of the season with 18th place, is in the 8. Pietro Armani, who had a brake issue in the race yesterday, which caused him to have a spin into turn 1. He's in the 6. And Hamza Al-Khabaisi is in the 88. Well, Josh Dufek sadly got involved in an incident on the opening lap after contact with Laurens van Hopen. Seems that it was just a congested field at the start. A real shame for Josh because he had a great chance to fight for more points. He has picked up 1 point so far this season. That was with a 10th place in the second race at Imola. But unfortunately, he had a crash on the first lap. That brought out the one and only safety car we saw in that race yesterday. And after that, it was an absolutely incredible race. Paul Aron went on to win after a brilliant battle with his teammate, Dino Beganovic, who finished just under a second behind in second place. Michael Belov managed to use his push-to-pass system really, really well. All the drivers absolutely love the push-to-pass system now. Anyone who had any doubts about it no longer does, because it proved yesterday that the push-to-pass system works and provides better racing. And Michael Belov tactically was very clever with his push-to-pass system. He saved it up, saved one up for the last lap where Gabriel Bortoleto had used all of his, meaning he drove straight past him down the Mistral straight to go into 3rd. Bortoleto finished 4th, Mini finished in 5th place. Hadrian David was 6th, Murray Boyer 7th, saying ART are struggling with race pace this weekend. Lorenzo Fluxer was 8th, Kaz Havercourt 9th, Tim Tramnitz was 10th. So Dino Beganovic with that second still leads the championship comfortably, 65 points clear of Hadrian David. Then it's Gabriele Mini in 3rd. Paul Aron is up to 4th in the championship now, just 9 points away from 2nd. Michael Belov is 5th. He's just 11 points away from 2nd. Then it's Kaz Havercourt. Then it's Gabriel Bortoleto. Then Murray Boyer. Then Sebastian Montoya. Then Lorenzo Fluxer. Well, there's Gabriel Bortoleto. Had a great chat with him yesterday, talking about push-to-pass and the use of it as well. He said it's really, really difficult to judge when to use it. One thing he told me as well is he said you can't respond to the driver behind using it, i.e. if you come onto the straight and you're looking in your mirrors and you see the driver behind has used it, which the drivers can tell when a driver behind is using it, he said you can't use yours then because it's too late. They'll just drive straight past you. He said you have to decide before the back straight whether you're going to use it or the start-finish straight, and either you use it straight away or you don't use it at all. You've got to remember they get 15 seconds of it. So if they decide to use it halfway down the straight, they'll probably only get about 7 seconds rather than 12 to 15 seconds. But an absolutely fantastic race. Here's the FA Racing team. They had a really, really difficult time yesterday in the race. Front wing damage for both Nicolas Baptiste and Esteban Masson, who had to take trips down the pit lane. Victor Bernier struggled finishing outside the top 20. And he said they've going to gamble on a bit of a setup. They're going to roll the dice. So let's see what happens for FA Racing. Drivers weaving because they're just trying to warm up the tyres, getting ready to go. Hamza Al-Khabaisi currently leading the pack. Let's hope we don't get any confusion like we did yesterday. This was the group where everyone was slowing down so much to get ready for a final push lap that no one made it across the line in time. It's quite similar to something we saw in Formula One, actually, in Monza a few years ago, where everyone was so keen to get a tow and everyone was so keen not to lead the pack that everyone slowed down too much. They all kind of forgot how long this circuit was. I think they're so used to Monaco that they forgot this circuit's over 5 kilometers long. And when they all crossed the line, the checkered flag was waving. So Josh Dufek was the first to cross it. Gabriel Bortoleto wasn't complaining. He got his best ever qualifying result to qualify on the front row for the very first time. There's Hadrian David, home race for him. Took a win here last year. We'll be hoping to add to that this year. All the drivers telling me yesterday and today that qualifying is hugely important around here. Sami Megatunov was another driver who was saying it to me. He said, you wouldn't think it. It's almost just as important as qualifying in Monaco. He said, not quite as important as Monaco, but it's not far off it. You need to be at the front. I think what it is the standard of drivers is so high in this championship that if you're down the field, making progress is just incredibly hard. There's Victor Bernier, we're watching now in the number 12. The predominantly blue-coloured car, the FA racing car. He got his season off to a great start, Victor Bernier, made really good progress in the opening race of the season to finish 14th. But ever since, he's struggled with luck, really. This would be a great chance for him to get himself back going again on home soil, but the team, it's just not going well for them this weekend as they come across the line. Monolite, it's going a little bit worse for them. We'll talk about them in the next session as Hamda Al-Khabaisi comes across the line. Now, the pole times yesterday, the quickest time we saw in this group was a 1:59.062, but we've got to remember that was in much warmer conditions. So we're looking around the 2-minute mark, I'd say. If anyone could dip into the 1:59s, I think they'll be looking in really good shape. There's Mari Boyer, a little bit out of shape going in towards the first corner. Said he made a mistake on his best lap yesterday, which cost him a couple of tenths. Here's Gabriel Bortoleto making his way down towards turn number 3 now. Just said that tyre degradation as well, said they don't have the same management of tyre degradation as the Prema team so far. Said that's what they need to try and sort out. He said that team just has it nailed on, and RSGP just said he's just trying to figure out how they can get on top of that tyre degradation the same amount. But Gabriel Bortoleto, as I said before, Mr. Consistent, finishes every race he takes part in, and this year he's done so inside the top 10 so far. In towards the chicane he goes. Gabriel Bortoleto now on his first push lap, so we're going to get our first times on the board. Al-Khabaisi, Bernier, Baptiste, Belinsky, Dufek, Noss, Donegan, Bortoleto, Havercourt, Leon, Boyer, David, Fluxer, Armani, Zagazeta, Dirksen, Van Hopen, all out there on circuit. Just over 6 minutes to go. We're watching Gabriel Bortoleto in the 85. Qualified on the front row yesterday. He was quickest of this group. He is the one to watch. You've got to be careful of track limits there. If you want 4 wheels over the white line there, your time will be deleted. Kaz Havercourt had that yesterday, but that was just okay for Gabriel Bortoleto. Havercourt will be one to watch as well. He was second in this group yesterday until his time was deleted. As they come through the final corner now, Lorenzo Fluxer going quickest, teammate to the man we're watching on screen. As across the line, Victor Bernier has gone to the top only briefly. Dirksen now goes quickest, the driver from Paraguay. Here comes Mari Boyer up to the line. He goes third. Bortoleto goes to the top. What about Fluxer, though, making his way up to the line? The Spaniard absolutely flying here. Havercourt's gone quickest, but Fluxer goes second, so beats Gabriel Bortoleto, but no one going quicker than the 27 there through screen. The orange and black car of Kaz Havercourt, who goes quickest, and who was that who just jumped up to fourth? Roman Belinsky. What a time from the Trident driver. He's currently the quickest rookie so far. So Roman Belinsky, who's here for the very first time, up into 4th place. Great performance that from Kaz Havercourt. Will want to bounce back after yesterday. He proved how important qualifying was. Second quickest in group, then got a penalty and just couldn't make progress in the race. The Van Amersfoort driver. He's currently quickest and he's gone purple through the first sector as well. We're watching Lorenzo Fluxer. He's a bit slower through the first sector, so a bit of a mistake coming in towards turn number 5, it seemed there. Gabriel Bortoleto third is on a personal best. Here's Noel Leon in the 19. We can see the 65 behind that is Donegan. Now we pick up the 85 of Bortoleto. Can he respond to that time? He's on a personal best. He's done personal best sector 1 and 2. Here comes Havercourt now in the orange and black. Number 27 comes into view, chasing down Hadrian David, so he's got a target ahead of him. What about Hadrian David? Well, Joshua Dirkson's just gone purple through the second sector. So Joshua Dirkson, quickest of anyone through the second sector. Quickest through the speed trap is Mateus Zagazeta, so he's absolutely flying as well. We're going to see some times on the board. Alcabasi goes into the top 10. Fluxer is up into second place as they make their way now round the final couple of corners. We're watching Havercourt and David on screen. Bernier is third. Bortoleto is fourth place. Noss is up to 12th place. Up to the line we go. We're watching David leading Havercourt. Are we going to see any changes? Yes, David goes pole, but only briefly. Havercourt beats him. 1:59.222. Therefore, Havercourt, we're only 2 tenths away from the quickest time we saw in this group yesterday, and we've still got 3 minutes to go. So Havercourt leading Fluxer, who's just gone to second place. Brilliant time there. 600ths away from Havercourt. Lorenzo Fluxer, who came across the line. David is third. Bortoleto fourth. Boyer is fifth. Bernier, with that setup change, is now in sixth place. Belinsky is seventh. Dirksen must have made a mistake through the final sector because he went slower in the end. Lawrence Van Hopen is 9th, Dufek is 10th, then it's Zagazeta, Leon, Alcabasi, Donegan, Noss, Armani and Baptiste. Well, not everyone going quicker on this lap. Looking down, Noel Leon's going quicker, Hamza Alcabasi's going quicker, Donegan's going quicker, Armani's going quicker as well, but it seems all the leaders are backed off. So those down the back of the field, Noel Leon in the Red Bull car is on another push lap. He's done a 32.9 through the first sector, so he is pushing hard, is Noel Leon in that Red Bull car. We'll wait to see what he does across the line. Here he is, he's backed off now, so he's hit traffic and Noel Leon is backed off. Okay, well, Noel Leon's going to get ready for another lap. The Mexican driver, Red Bull Junior, who had the chance to celebrate his points finish with Checo Perez at Monaco and the Red Bull team. Likewise, Dino Beganovic, after his win in Monaco, was able to spend some time with Mattia Binotto, Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc as well. Said it was great to be congratulated by all of them who were watching on the race and congratulated him after the race. So great support for this level of drivers. Max Verstappen is another who enjoys watching this championship as well. So drivers towards the top, keeping an eye on this series, and hence why we've got a Red Bull Junior out there, a Ferrari Driver Academy, a Mercedes Junior and an Alpine Junior as well. Okay, we're getting ready for our last push laps now. This is going to be their last flying laps. Does anyone have anything to go and beat Kaz Havercourt? 1:59.222. Lorenzo Fluxer needs to find 1/10 of a second to do it. Roman Belinsky's just gone quicker through the first sector, so good start for, in fact, that's Victor Bernier, apologies, who's gone quicker. Boyer's gone quicker. Here's Joshua Dirksen. We're waiting to see what he does through the first couple of sectors, and he's gone quicker, but quickest of anyone is Gabriel Bortoleto in that 85. Gabriel Bortoleto absolutely flying out there as he makes his way now down to the chicane. Bortoleto, is he on for a potential provisional pole position and another front row start? Here we pick him up now, coming through the chicane, makes his way through the right-hander and now down towards turn number 10. No one going quicker than him. He's done a 32.5 compared to a 32.7 for Lorenzo Fluxer in second. And there you can see at the bottom of screen, purple through the first sector, personal best through the second. What about Havercourt? He's done a personal best, but Havercourt's made a mistake in the second sector and he's gone slower. Hadrian David's gone purple through the second sector though. matching the times together. This is neck and neck between Hadrian David and Gabriel Bortoleto. Could be either one of them. Alcabasi will be no higher than 10th place. That could be a personal best result for her. Dirksen gets up to 5th place, so a road 5 start potentially for Joshua Dirksen. But coming through the final corners, Keith Donegan's into the top 10. Noel Leon now goes 10th. What about Hadrian David and Gabriel Bortoleto? Up to the start finish line we go. Here they come now. We can see Mari Boyer goes up to 4th place. Gabriel Bortoleto goes quickest, but can he be beaten by Hadrian David? No. David goes 3rd. So yet again, it's going to be a front row start for the Brazilian driver, Gabriel Bortoleto. Lorenzo Fluxer across the line cannot improve. He stays in 3rd place. And Gabriel, in fact, he improves to 3rd place, demoting Hadrian David to 4th place. Belinsky in the 4 there goes up to 6th. Great result for him. That will be a personal best result in qualifying for Roman Belinsky. And he is the quickest rookie in this session. But the quickest man overall is Gabriel Bortoleto. Well done to the British driver, Roman Belinsky, his first time at this circuit, and the Trident driver goes quickest of the rookies on the last lap there, learning every circuit as he goes. Every circuit he's visiting this season, bar Spa, he is having to learn for the first time, and it didn't go well for him on Friday, but he is getting better and better, more confident in the car, and Belinsky 6th place. Great performance from him, just beating Dirksen and Dufek as well. It was really, really close down the field between Belinsky, Dirksen, Dufek, Bernier and Van Hopen. There was about 2/10 between all 4 of those drivers. Here's confirmation of the result then. This will be the row of the grid they start on. So Gabriel Bortoleto yet again will be on row 1. Havercourt will be row 2 yet again. Fluxer once again will be on row number 3. Hadrian David will be on row 4. Mari Boyer will start inside the top 10. Pietro Armani will be, in fact, that will be Roman Belinsky will be up on row number 6. Joshua Dirksen will be on row number 7. Josh Dufek on row 8. Victor Bernier on row 9. Lawrence Van Hopen on row 10. Keith Donegan will be row 11. Noel Leon row 12. Matteo Sagazzetto row 13. Hamza Alcabasi in the end dropped to 14th. Pietro Armani will be 15th. Axel Noss will be on row 16. Nicolas Baptiste will be row 17. Well, here's a look back at the highlights from that session. We just got down to a low 159. So if we can get in the 158s, we will see the time beaten. 15-minute session started, all the drivers coming out onto the field. Push laps started after the first 5 minutes, and Gabriel Bortoleto showed his presence from the start. Lorenzo Fluxer had a great session, didn't he? He impressed throughout the session, but Gabriel Bortoleto saved the best till last. Kaz Havercourt at one stage was the quickest, but on the final lap, Gabriel Bortoleto did enough to go and take the quickest time of the session. Great time there from Bortoleto. Now he watches on to see if his time can be beaten. Dino will be one of them that will be trying to beat it. Dino Beganovic, the Ferrari Driver Academy member, getting ready to go out in that Prema car. Championship leader by 65 points. Well clear from the rest. Hadrian David sits 2nd in the standings. So the 2 groups is basically a battle of the quickest times. The quickest group will form the inside row of the grid. The slower group will form the outside row of the grid. It doesn't matter if 5 drivers in this group are quicker than Gabriel Bortoleto. Gabriel Bortoleto will not start 6th. He will still start 2nd. It just denotes what row of the grid you start on. This group was the group that took to the track first yesterday. So to make it even, to make it fair, they will take to the track 2nd today. Sebastian Montoya getting ready to go out. Fairly happy with how things have been going so far. Just missed out on the points. He's been really consistent so far this season. He leads the rookie standings by 9 points ahead of Leonardo Fornaroli, who we saw there in the 72. His teammate Roman Belinsky just went quickest of the rookies in the first group, in Group B, but this is now Group A, making its way out onto the circuit. Let's run through who's going to be in it then. Dino Beganovic will be out there in the 18, Gabriele Mini in the 46, Michael Belov in the 30, Paul Aron will be in the 3. There he is in the red and white, the winner from yesterday, Sebastian Montoya, who we saw in the 58, Leonardo Fornaroli, who we saw as well in the 72, Tim Tramnitz in the 70, our rookie winner yesterday, Matteo Capietto will be out there in the 5. Now, yesterday he had a problem in qualifying. The main electric cable in the car broke completely, and that meant the car stopped coming around the next corner. So not this corner here, the next one. He said as he came around the corner, the engine just switched off completely, pulled over, and the team had to work tirelessly from that point onwards to the race to get that fixed. They thought it was the RPM sensor, then they thought it was the loom in the engine. Wasn't either of those, and then eventually they figured out that it was the main electric cable in the car that had gone. So a real shame for Matteo Capietto, because he does like this circuit, but he's now got that fixed. He did get to go out in the race yesterday, had a pit lane start, and from that he has been able to make sure that the car was working okay. So this will be our first real chance to see how Matteo Capietto gets on in that number 5. Sami Megatunov will be in the 17. He said he's made some changes to the car today. He said it just didn't feel right yesterday. He was struggling with a few issues. So Sami Megatunov reckons that they've got those sorted. He said through the corners he was struggling slightly. So some setup changes today. He said if he'd sorted those out, the data showed that he would have been as quick as Michael Belov. There he is in the 17. In the bright orange car. So he said data shows that without those problems I would have been as quick as my teammate Michael Belov, who eventually finished on the podium. So let's keep one eye on Sami Megatunov in this session. He could be a real one to watch. He absolutely loves this track, has a good history around here as well, one of many drivers who has raced here in the past in F4. Dudu Barrichello we saw in the 91 as well. Finished 11th in group yesterday, sadly stalled on the grid briefly, did eventually get going and did well to recover actually to finish up in the end in 21st. He was down in 32nd at one stage. There's Michael Belov in the 30. Drove really well to come through. Used his push-to-pass system better than anyone else. And tactically, a lot was learned about push-to-pass yesterday. Michael Belov, his experience showing there. He's raced in F3 before, so he carries a little bit more experience at a higher level than some of those drivers around him, and that definitely showed yesterday. Esteban Masson will be in the 9, her front wing damage yesterday. Pietro Deligoanti got his best result of the season and the best ever result for the RPM team, who are new to the grid. Keith Donegan telling me that he and Pietro have gone completely separate directions on setup this weekend, and Pietro's setup seems to be working a lot better than his as they still try and learn the car. Got to remember, Keith hasn't raced since 2018, the 25-year-old who runs the team. Owen Tangavelu, really good result for him yesterday. He's going to be out there in the 92, finished 14th. Personal best result. He's just getting better and better all the time. He raced here in French F4 last year. Watch out for him in the 92. Levente Rivets, the Hungarian, will be in the 11. Santiago Ramos will be in the 68. Piotr Wisnicki will be in the 21. Francesco Braschi in the 28. Han Chen Yu has had an engine change. He's going to be in the 24. Now, the Monolite team just had a torrid day completely. They had that electric cable for Matteo Capietto. The Monolite team, by the way, are the all-black coloured cars. They're the number 5, the number 24, and the number 6. We saw Pietro out already. Now, they had the electric cable for Matteo Capietto go. They've had to change an engine for Han Chen Yu because there was a problem in the race, And after what they happened for Maceo, they just didn't want to take any risks with it. They couldn't quite figure out what it was, so they decided a full engine change was the safest option. And Pietro Armeni had a brake problem, which saw him spin coming in towards turn number 1, and he wasn't quite able to control the car properly throughout the race. So, yeah, the team manager yesterday had a real tough time of it. So let's see how they get on today. It was a complete write-off for them. He said this is going to be one of those days he remembers for all the wrong reasons. But a great job by the team to get all the cars ready for today in one piece. Let's hope for their sake. There he is, Maceo Capietto. Let's hope for their sake they have a better run of things today, because they've done a great job this season to extend from having the one car of Pietro Deligoanti last year to 3 this year. They've done a really good job to do that and run those cars very well as well. Maceo Capietto in the points already this season with a 9th place at Imola and a 10th at Monza. Well, everyone just getting themselves ready to go for their push laps. Gabriele Mini is there in the 46. Just struggled a little bit towards the end of the race yesterday. Gabriele Mini, it seems he struggled with tyre degradation a little bit more than those around him. Mary Boyer saying that the team were just struggling a little bit with that. Let's see if they have managed to figure that out today. Let's see how Han Chen Yu goes in that new engine. Owen Tangavelu, we saw in the 92, really impressive job for him. Okay, here we go then. If we can get below a 159, we'll see this group starting on the inside row of the grid. 159 flat is what we saw there in that first session. Paul Aron, you can see the track still not rubbing in properly yet. It is not the same temperatures we saw, and Paul Aron just getting a little bit out of shape coming in towards the first corner. The Estonian, he did tell me on Friday, I spoke to him very briefly as he was leaving the circuit, and he did say something good's coming this weekend. You'll watch out, basically. And, well, he wasn't lying, was he? It was a great race yesterday. Both drivers pulled off some really fantastic moves. He said to me that was his best ever race. In terms of the amount he enjoyed it, the moves he pulled off, he said that was, for me, the best ever race he's ever had. He really, really enjoyed it. Great respect between him and his teammate as well, Dino Beganovic. Spoke to the Prema team boss Dimitri afterwards as well, and he was very happy with the respect shown between the two drivers. Said they know that they have to respect each other. Coming through turn number 10, Paul Aron. Watching him now in towards turn number 11. Let's see what times we can get put on the board. We're nowhere near what we've seen in the first group yet. We're not seeing any push laps just yet. This is going to be our first guide, really, into who is looking quick in this session. As I said, Megatunif has made some changes. Trident looked quick in that first session, didn't they, with Roman Belinsky, and Tim Tramnitz has been quick enough to be on the front row this season so far. So let's keep an eye on him, and let's keep an eye on Maceo Capietto as well to see how he gets on. Belov goes up to the top, 158.8, so we're already quicker than the first group. So this is going to be the group that forms the inside row of the grid. This is now your battle for pole position. Paul Aron, 158.805 for him, just under 2/10 clear of Michael Belov. Dino Beganovic goes second, Gabriele Mini goes fourth, then it is Dudu Barrichello in fifth, so Beganovic there in third place, Mini in fourth, Barrichello in fifth. We're watching Gabriele Mini now making his way down to turn 3. Montoya is up to 6th, Tangavelu is up to 7th place. That'll put him 13th on the grid. Deligoanti is 8th, Masson is 9th, Capietto is 10th, Fornaroli is 11th, Ramos is 12th, Revex is 13th, then it's Braski, Wisnicki, Megatunif currently down in 16th place, but yet to do a proper push lap, then it's Han Chen-Yu, and we're waiting to see the first flying lap for Tim Tramnitz, who comes across the line now to go 4th. So the German rookie up into 4th place. We're watching Gabriele Mini, but quickest on track is Dino Beganovic for Prema in that red and white Prema car, the number 18, going very well. And there he is. We pick him up just in time. Dino Beganovic up to turn number 10 now, absolutely flying. They cannot use push to pass in qualifying, by the way, so this is just their raw pace that we see as they come in towards turn number 11, and Dino Beganovic runs wide through there, and that's going to be that lap aborted. He can't set a time now because this lap time will be deleted. So Dino Beganovic, even if he does improve, we can ignore this lap time completely. He'll probably back off now and set himself up for another lap. I did speak to him, by the way, about the incident that saw him run wide through turn 11. There wasn't contact between him and Paul Aron. He said he just backed out of the move because there was going to be contact. It was a sensible thing to do, and he had to hit the brakes really hard, and that saw the car run straight on and go wide. So, sensible decision as Dudu Barrichello goes up to 4th place, but only briefly. He's demoted to 5th because Gabriele Mini has just gone to the top there, 158.591. The Italian quickest so far. Gabriele Mini trying to get pole position for ART. They got pole here last year with Saucy, and Gabriele Mini quickest by 0.2 of a second. Got to remember, they were quickest in pre-season testing here earlier this year with Gabriele Mini, and comfortably as well. Dino Beganovic, that lap time for him will be deleted, so Dudu Barrichello effectively will be in 4th place for now. Tim Tramnitz is there in 6th. Tangavelu is 7th, and it's Montoya next after that. Matteo Capietto is on a personal best lap down the field as well. He's just done a 32.6 through the first sector. That's a good time, just 0.2 off what we're seeing from Tim Tramnitz up in 4th place. And there he is, Matteo Capietto in the 5, behind Gabriele Mini coming into the chicane, but he's been delayed. Mini lets him through, and Capietto will be a little bit frustrated with that. That's going to delay him now on this lap as he makes his way down towards turn number 10. Matteo Capietto, you can see 0.4 of a second he's lost through that second sector. But he's still got time, 2.5 minutes left on the clock. Gabriele Mini leads from Paul Aron, from Michael Belov, from Tim Tramnitz. Are we going to see any more improvements? This will be the group that starts on the inside row of the grid. Dudu Barrichello there in the 91 needs a good result, really. He's got good pace. He just needs a good result to get his confidence going and get his season going as well. It's a result he really does deserve. Luck has just not been going his way so far this season. All right, let's have a look at what happened to Dino there, taking it very quick into 11. Too much speed, and he was never going to make the corner, was he? But Dino Beganovic, as a result, is now down in 5th place with Tim Tramnitz up to 4th place. In towards turn number 1, they go for their final push laps now. This is it. Last chance for Dino Beganovic. At the moment, he'd be starting down in 9th place. Got to remember, he's finished no lower than 2nd. He's qualified on the front 2 rows pretty much in every race this season. Dino Beganovic, are we going to see him for the first time starting down the lower order of the top 10? Let's see what he can do. Through the first sector, he's purple. Well, there we go. Dino Beganovic has responded just like we'd expect him to. Quickest of anyone through the first sector. Can he go on to take yet another pole position? The Swede makes his way down the back straight now, trying to get his 5th pole position in the championship as he hits the brakes into the chicane. You can see the front of the car tipping down as he stops the car there into the chicane. Dino Beganovic now makes his way out of the chicane. He's got to get a 158.590 or less to get on pole position, but Paul Aron trying to beat him behind as well. No one else is improving on this lap. Only Michael Belov is improving. Paul Aron has gone quicker through the 2nd sector, but Dino Beganovic, that was not a good 2nd sector, but has he still got enough to potentially take pole? Pietro Deligoanti is flying through the 1st sector as well in that green and orange coloured car. Pietro Deli Guanti could be one to watch. Montoya is improving as well. Tim Tramnitz has just done a really good first sector. The Trident driver as well in the red and blue coloured car. We'll keep an eye on that one as Dino Begnovic now makes his way through the final corner. Can this be enough to get himself onto the front two rows and keep that run going? The Swedish driver makes his way down the start-finish straight. Is this going to be enough, or was that second sector not enough? Yes, he does. He gets onto the second row yet again. Paul Aron is going to be third and no more, so it will be a row 3 start for him, a row 4 start for Belov. Dudu Barrichello is 6th, Tramnitz is 5th, Tangavelu up to 8th place there. Do we see any more improvements behind? Gabriele Mini does a 158.522, and that's enough of an improvement to secure him pole position. So it's going to be Gabriele Mini on pole position for race number 2, just like he was for both races at Imola. His 3rd pole position of the season and of his FRECA career. Gabriele Mini will lead the field, but Tim Tramnitz, can he improve? He's gone quicker through the first sectors, a bit slower through the second. Will this be enough to potentially get him onto the front 3 rows? Tim Tramnitz can't improve, 158.963. So Tim Tramnitz will start from P9. He'll line up alongside his teammate Roman Belinsky, or just ahead Roman Belinsky, who was 6th in that first group. Confirmation of the result then. Gabriele Mini takes pole position, his 3rd pole this season. Dino Begnovic yet again will be on the front 2 rows. Paul Aron will start from 5th place. Michael Belov will be P7. Tim Tramnitz will be inside the top 10 yet again. Dudu Barrichello will start just outside it. Seb Montoya will be row 7. Owen Tangavelu will be row 8, ahead of Esteban Massa on row 9. Maceo Capietto will be row number 10. It will be Pietro Deli Guanti, who must have made a mistake on that last lap. Santiago Ramos, row 12. Leonardo Fornaroli, row 13. Levente Rivets, row 14. Setup changes not working for Sami Megatuniv. Clearly still problems in that car. He could only manage 15th. Francesco Braschi 16th, Piotr Wisnicki 17th, Han Chen Yu, who's bedding in that new engine, 18th place for him. Oh, great session there to end qualifying here at Paul Ricard. Dino Begnovic, the man we were all keeping an eye on. As the field made their way out onto the circuit, they knew the time that they had to be, a 1:59 flat in that first session. It was a congested field at times as drivers struggled to find a gap on circuit. Michael Belov put in some good times to consistently put himself inside the top 5. Paul Aron at one stage was doing good enough to lead the way. The Estonian putting in some good performances there, but couldn't quite hold on. This was when Dino Begnovic ran wide. Lap time was deleted. That put him down in 5th place, which meant he would have started down in P9. Tim Tramnitz got inside the top 10, but he would improve, but couldn't improve better than Gabriele Mini, who took pole.